Hello guys, welcome back to another video here on Movies with James, and today we're going to talk about why I collect physical media. Yes, why do I, go to a shop, buy a little bit of plastic with a disc in 2025 and then store it in my house and have to maintain that storage of said items. There's a few things that I've done with this video in terms of when I started thinking about it, writing some notes down. I ultimately have come up with like 3 different video titles. So there's positives and there's definite negatives to physical media, and then there's a reason why I collect it. So we're going to talk about why today, and then in the next couple of videos, like maybe over the next 10 days or 2 weeks or so, I'll upload 2 separate videos of the positives of collecting physical media and some of the negatives, in my opinion, because there's actually quite a lot of negatives, I reckon, which some people may be surprised by. So as with anything, of course, one of the biggest reasons why I collect physical media is because I want to. It brings me joy. It always has. Whether or not it's a game or a film, I'd rather physically hold the item. A physical game, for instance, back in the day, of course, PlayStation 3, this is where games were done really well in terms of physical media. We had the game, of course, on a disc, which, back before probably PS3, definitely before PS4, updates didn't take too long. It was very straight away, put it in PS2 and it would just play. And it was what we brought up on. That was the generation I was brought up on, was PS2. You buy the game from the store, game or Tesco's or online or wherever, put it in your console and away you go. There was no digital, obviously, then. But then, get booklets as well, telling you little things about the whole game and stuff like that. And then some maps and stuff like that. Like these maps, from things like GTA. I used to have on my wall as a kid, absolutely love them. So it makes the digital content real, and that's the same for movies. If I pick up a specific film here, let's go for The Fall, it makes this real. It makes the decision of holding this physically, having to have the experience of the disc, putting it in. I don't know about you, but I'm much more engaged to the content that I watch when I physically put a disc in a player. I'm much more engaged than if I'm just sat on the sofa browsing Netflix and I just go, that one. It gives you more information, more context than anything on something like Netflix will, in terms of reviews, and then you've got extra stuff as well, of course, like special features and all of that. The next thing, a reason why I collect physical media, is the exclusivity. Things like the Game of Thrones set here is an exclusive set, of course, on 4K, and it brings a different element to the art that was intended by the creator. Of course, this is season 5. Different quote there. It's just a different experience, of course. And, just totally takes you to a different place than you would if you was just watching episode after episode, of course, in your streaming apps. Then you've got other things like the big sleeve editions that were previously, of course, massive flops, really. But I think they would do well now because of the surge of vinyl, of course. But to get this kind of experience before putting a film into a player is something that streaming just is never going to be able to do. So owning something physically, getting this high-res image, in your hand as you sat there, is all part of the experience. And that's ultimately one of the main reasons why I collect physical media. Next then, the 4Ks, of course. The best, the holy grail, the best quality you can get on physical media nowadays. And that brings me to my next point in terms of quality. Take Furiosa as an example. 4K quality. Watching this version of Furiosa will be the best experience quality-wise using this disc here, which has up to 100 gigabytes of data. I've done a video on this in terms of DVD, Blu-ray and 4K. I probably should do 4K versus streaming 4K. I think that'd be quite cool, to compare. But, quality and all of that is a big part of it. One of the things for me personally, I'm a tech nut. So anything new technology I just love. I always have, whether or not it's iPhones and stuff like that. And I delved into the world of physical media with an ex-colleague of mine. We was really delving into the home theatre side of things from the early days, and all of that. And I picked up my first home cinema system, Onkyo. It did a 3.1.2 Dolby Atmos thing, and it was good as a beginning entry, but I wanted a bit more. You know, I wanted that little bit more. It didn't offer all of the stuff that I needed it, and I eventually upgraded to the Denon that I have now, 8K 120 for the PS5, and of course then doing the 5.1.2 for true Dolby Atmos in terms of then giving you your height speakers. So yeah, that was a big reason for it. You know, and then things like Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos for me are huge. You know, what's the point in spending thousands on TVs and all the hardware? You need the appropriate software to benefit from, of course, that investment. So that's another reason why, really, and probably one of the biggest reasons. You know, it's definitely close to, you know, owning the media, as I said previously. I think the other reason for me is a bit of a moral reason. I love movies and I love going to the cinema. I love supporting cinemas and, you know, doing that because I used to work in a cinema for a couple of years. So going to the cinema rather than, you know, torrenting or illegally downloading and illegally streaming movies is definitely a preferred route. Not to mention my technology background of obviously having that experience of, you know, wanting to experience the best sound, the best picture I can. All of that stuff really, you know, makes a movie really. If you watch something like a Furiosa, like a Avengers Endgame or whatever on a phone, on an airplane with some cheapy headphones, it's not going to be as good of an experience if you watch it, you know, of course in the cinema, or if you watch it just on your home, you know, in your home TV. It's very different experiences, of course. So I'm very fortunate to have like a cinema room with 7 speakers in your Dolby Atmos, of OLED TV, 55 inches, which is really close to where I sit. So it feels like a cinema. And yeah, I'm very fortunate for that, you know. So what's the point in having that setup if you don't have the best quality media, of course, to enjoy? And the final reason really is the YouTube channel, you know, and starting to delve into different areas that I've never experienced before. So there's quite a few films here that I've never seen. Most notably, we're still on the Mad Max theme, but these Mad Max ones I got on a pretty good deal. These I've never seen Mad Max, these 3 old movies. So physical media introduced me to different franchises that I've never seen, and at the same time provided me with some nice memorabilia really of the things that we love, you know, of course, and supporting the film industry, supporting the cinemas, supporting the distributors for these, supporting the stores like HMV and all of the retailers, of course. So, you know, introducing me to franchises and movies and other areas in the movie world, I guess, is a massive part of it. Because, as I say, when you go to a store like a CEX or a HMV and you're physically browsing the movies there, you know, directly in front of you, you have, you know, a much better canvas, really, to see the movies just like you would on my shelves here, rather than if you're on Netflix or on Amazon and you're just browsing and tabbing through using a remote. The experience is totally different, and you're physically in a store, you pick up a movie, you look at it, oh, this is very interesting, this sounds a bit of me, you know, it looks really cool. Owning it physically adds a different dimension to the experience overall. So yeah, I think it all kind of links back to the first point that I said, of course. So yeah, that's reasons why I collect physical media. Do you guys agree with that? Of course, there is positives to physical media collection as well as negatives. And stay tuned for that, because in the next couple of days now, I will be uploading those videos. And I was surprised as to how many negatives there were, to be honest. When I started delving into it and really thinking about, you know, positives and negatives of it, there's quite a few, but there's obviously still a fair few positives as well. So I'm really interested to see what you guys think of those takes when I release that video. But if you are new here and you like this video, please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. There is a QR code there, so if you are watching on your TV, scan that QR code and apparently you subscribe. So win-win. Thanks for watching though, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon, and of course I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.